Hi there, Geoff Coughlin, Editor Scale Modelling Now. Well, here's a cracking new release from Revell, which is the 72nd scale Avro Shackleton MR.3. So this builds on from their earlier release of the later version of the Shack, and it's really good to see this early version available again as a state of the art current release, which is brilliant. So let's go on this inbox browse and check out what we've actually got. Okay, so let's have a look at the main wings first of all. Well, beautifully tooled by the look of it. Some really impressive, almost a little subtle oil canning effect going on here, which is just perfect for the type. I love that. You don't have lots and lots and lots of surface rivets, and I know the Shack did have rivets and they were quite prominent, but I think because of the way Revell have done the panel lining, I honestly don't think that matters at all. Certainly it wouldn't matter to me. I think the effect you're going to get, and if you just check out the completed model on the front of the instruction book, you'll see what I mean, and we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so we've got really good internal detail here, lovely little instrument panel, other various details around the cockpit, and the flooring and the bulkheads, which is good to see. What looks like twin spars here, I imagine, to keep the wings at the correct angle, which is good. Little sprue over here covering one of the radomes. I'm sure this is the radome that sits underneath the fuselage. Lovely to see these detailed flaps going on here. That's a nice touch. That's going to look really good if you wanted to deploy those, which is good. Very neat engine cowls, again with some cracking detail moulded onto those. Neat little control columns and so on. Then we're over to the main wings, and this is where you see that effect I'm talking about. So it's almost this sort of oil can, this slight rippling of the surface. Well, I think that's going to look spot on when it's painted up and weathered, particularly if you put a bit of effort into that and make sure that you do a decent job of it. Nice to see the control surfaces at the back. You can have an opportunity to offset the rudders, which is neat, like that, and the main fuselage sections, as you can see here. Okay, there is a little bit of internal ribbing, kind of where you might spot it. It's very clever that. That's opposite the door that you can have open on the port side of the aircraft, or the starboard side, I think it is, sorry. And then you can peer inside and you would still see some of the formers and stringers and the ribbon on the internal surfaces, so that's a neat little touch, I think. Moving along to this sprue here, which is, I think it's sprue I, it's absolutely cracking this. You've got whole separate nose sections here. And it's worth mentioning at this point to check out a Mark Rook's build of the later version, which was Revell's first release of the Avro Shackleton. I think he did a cracking job of the build. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was Mark. I apologise, Mark, if it wasn't. If it wasn't, it was definitely Adam Brown. So either of you guys, whoever it was, you did build it. I'm sorry, I should have checked that beforehand, but just check out Revell Finish now in SMN in the aircraft section. You'll find the full build. But it certainly did seem to go together well, and it looked great finished. And look at this inside the bomb bay. You've got a fabulous, great big bomb bay doors. Lovely to see those separate, and this lovely, lovely internal detail here, which you can see if I just bring you in a bit closer. Moving on up, really nice wheels, lovely hub detail on those. Props look in good shape. All of that looks really good. Decent seats inside here, which are fine for the scale. Just add some belts to those if you want. Overall, yeah, that looks really, really nice. What a lovely package that is. Really excited about that. I think it's going to look fabulous when it's built, and we will be bringing you a full build in SMN. Quick look at the clear parts. These look superb. Revell, it's definitely a strength of Revell's these days. I think their clear parts, they certainly look good. They invariably fit beautifully, and no reason to think any different with these. They look really, really smashing. Decals, couple of different options here, couple of different schemes. We just pop inside the instruction book, can have a look at what the options are. You've got MR.3, which is a 42 Squadron aircraft from St Morgan in 1970. That's coded up with J on the side, and it's the XF7 MR.3 scheme, which you can see here. So just even looking at the decals, beautifully moulded. They look moulded, nicely printed, I should say. Certainly look the part. Everything seems to be in register, so I'm quite excited about those. Those should fit and look really nice when they're on. The other big scheme, I think, which is my favourite, is 206 here, from RAF Kinloss, Scotland, 65. You've got those lovely sort of day glowy orange tip tanks, which with the white upper section to the fuselage, I think make a big difference, which I really like. So that would be my personal favourite, but hey ho, you might have a different view. And then you've got this lovely instruction book, just to show you the rest of it. Plenty of simple sections here, classic mixes for the Revell paints if you're going to use those, and if you're not, then you can just make whatever choices you want based on the colours that are given for each of the parts. And then you've got the build sequence, which probably unsurprisingly starts in the cockpit, builds up, and then you've just got to take care as ever to make sure that everything all is joined up nice and crisply and nice and firmly and accurately, and then you shouldn't really have any fit problems, certainly based on the earlier build that we did in the mag. So really good, really like the look of this kit. I think it should be a nice, decent, straightforward build. Lovely options there for drop flaps, open bomb bay doors, and then you're into painting and finishing. So well done, Revell. Lovely to see that you've produced the MR3 variant of the Shackleton, and yeah, certainly recommended from me. That's the Avro Shackleton MR3 by Revell in 70 second scale.